everybody. This is Apple Treats, final episode of the season, and actually it's fourth episode of the season. So it was.
So it's not the first one, so it's okay.
It's already great.
All
Yeah,
season.
I would agree. We have a lot of things to talk about, actually, because I think we skipped a lot of the episodes during the year, and there were a couple of things we wanted to talk. Hopefully, we will be able to talk about those today because we will be reviewing the 2024 and like how this year looks in terms of Apple development and Apple hardware, I think, as well. But let's start with
this hardware. So yeah, let's discuss it too.
How it's going?
Long time no see. Yeah. Crazy months. December
Right.
It's never easy.
So I think since all this artificial intelligence hype is still somewhere here, and at least what we talk about, I think the first topic for us today is Apple Intelligence. So Apple was late to the whole game, I think. Some people say they were just in time, and we now have Apple Intelligence on supported devices, let's put it that way. We have iPhones starting 15 Pro. We have all Macs with M chips. And we also have iPads with M chips supporting Apple Intelligence. Since you are not in US, since you are not in US, you probably can't try it on your devices, even if you set your language to English. And yeah, we have to say that it's essentially available in US and in some other US English speaking. I'm bad at this. In English speaking countries, Apple promises to expand to other regions as well, including Europe in autumn. I mean, they mentioned that they're working on that, and China, I think, is also on the way, but as far as I was reading news, they had some troubles with government and regulations and so on and so on. So they have a couple of things to work on in order to bring Apple Intelligence to China. Specifically, they probably have to use some Chinese models and Chinese services for that. But again, that's...
Which is very interesting, taking into account that some part of this stuff happens on the device. So it will be interesting to see how Apple satisfies their largest market.
And they definitely going to, I think so. It's really one of the biggest market, and they want to capture more. And I think if they will be able to provide end user features with Apple Intelligence, then they will capture more market. Let's talk about what Apple Intelligence can do right now at least in US. I will be speaking from that perspective. As of now, we have writing tools, which is essentially simplified version of model working on your text. It can proofread your text. It can make it more friendly, more professional, and summarize or something like that. And it actually works pretty well for the tool which runs on a device or in this private cloud compute. So which is essentially Apple's approach to creating privacy-focused cloud. They promise that everything which is running on their these instances will never be shared with Apple, and they also making sure that none of that data will be ever leaving the session, and they provide images of their cloud operating systems, I would say, like running images to third-party researchers in order to make sure that their claims are true. And as far as we know now, nobody was able to disprove Apple's claims. So for now, it seems that Apple actually like doing what they promised in order keeping processing private. But we need to say that
this. To wait for the next Black Hat conference in Las Vegas.
So I expect so. Yeah. And yeah, by the way, there were a couple of articles saying that they were able to trick these models into doing something like using special tokens and so on. But we need to say that this model is Apple's language model. It's not ChatGPT or like any other, and it's simpler than other models. And it's essentially, it runs on very specific requests. And if that request goes beyond what model does, like when you use Siri, for example, to ask about something, they currently partner with OpenAI to use ChatGPT for that, and you are able to like pass your request to ChatGPT, and there are some details on that. So again, OpenAI claims that they won't be using that data for training. However, they are not using any kind of tools which Apple uses with private cloud compute.
So they are doing like this stuff. So this is what I found in OpenAI about this.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it runs pretty seamlessly. I was like experimenting with that. I was trying like, what's that? And like, oh, we can probably use ChatGPT for that. And ChatGPT was providing like more or less interesting answers. And I were able like to use points camera to something and like interact with Siri. So it works okay, but you constantly reminded by Siri that it's not Siri, it's rather ChatGPT answer. So that's one thing. And there is new version coming up soon, probably next week, which is 18.2 for the iOS and 15.2 for the macOS Sequoia. That will bring some more features, including image playground, which is to say, how would I put it? Like, I was playing with that a little bit, and it's barely usable for anything. Like yes, you can generate some images, but for some reason in all of my attempts, like I wanted to make like couple of people standing in the shot, and it like always created just one person, or like it never created a person standing like looking away from you. It like always front facing person, and like there are a lot of things which are like, well, yeah, probably you can play a little bit, but that's essentially it. You cannot use that for anything. And they currently removed the illustration style, which you probably could use for some presentation images. Like if you wanted to do some slides and you wanted like good quality image for that, you probably could use something like this image playground. But we currently have like cartoonish style and like I don't know like how to call it, like sketchy or something like that. So it's like, again, as of now, if you want to generate an image, you will probably go with DALL-E, Midjourney, like something which does that better.
So sell your data to big guys. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but again, why would you be generating images now? Like it's I don't know. I mean, I honestly tried. So I was the part of the beta, and currently, by the way, they also gather your feedback for that too. Like essentially, if you generate something, you can file feedback immediately saying what's wrong with an image, and or with how this image reflects the prompt which you provided. So like, and you can like rate that. And so I see that they're probably working on that, and they're trying to make sure that it will be better. But again, it's something which is it's not like something which you will be using a lot, I think. But we will probably see that in
just tell us about Siri integration with this stuff and application intents,
Yeah,
etc.
I try to avoid that. So,
image generation is
so Siri,
nothing to
let me talk about something which happened with. And by the way, I said the word, and what's happened? It's like a couple of devices here, like, oh, you're talking about me? Yeah, well, so I will be trying to avoid that word when I describe it. So it became better. We do not have yet the full like rollout of features which Apple promised on WWDC. So improvements to their intelligent assistant will come later. But as of now, it's more natural speech. It like understands you a little bit better. But one thing we need to remember that this assistant runs on the specific device. And if you have multiple devices at your environment, like you might have a watch, you might have an iPad which runs previous version, like I don't know, or it runs current version, but it doesn't have the chip, like M chip, or you have HomePods at your home, like which also have capabilities of using that particular assistant. They will be responding to your request differently. And I was speaking with the Apple engineers on one of their events, and they confirmed my expectation that depending on which device you will target, the answer and the experience will be significantly different. And one of the problems for me, at least right now, is that at home I have HomePod is almost in every room, and I interact with Siri almost every time through that particular device, and I use iPhone less than HomePods. So that device will not be upgraded, and we probably need to wait until they have new home speaker with the Apple Silicon in order to have new Siri experience. I mean, we will see what will happen with that. As of now, we don't have much of the features. Yeah, it understands a little bit better. It has better animations, and in iOS 18.2, you will be able to have this visual intelligence on, I think currently just the iPhone 16 with this capture button. So it will trigger camera interface, but not for taking pictures, but rather to interacting with Siri and ChatGPT. By the way, I tried. So they said you can take a look on some restaurant and use that visual intelligence to get its working hours. Well, at places I've been, it doesn't work. It says well, it probably it is probably a restaurant. And that's about it. You probably can Google for that yourself. I wouldn't be even doing that. So even ChatGPT was not able to provide me the details on that. However,
I tried to interrupt you a couple of times, but my microphone decided that your speech is genius.
Yeah.
So
let's go.
Yeah. So so what about integration? So for me, what I really want to have from Siri is more integration with applications. So specifically, what I personally need, so when I open my fridge and see that something is missing there, I want to shout to my Siri and say, I need this, so please add this to grocery list. I don't want to add this to notes. I hate notes for this purpose. So we have other apps. So I even can create my own app for that. But I need...
Okay.
So I want Apple
and that's already there. So currently you can... Well, first of all, there is there are couple of frameworks already. We have SiriKit, which is old framework for Siri integration, and it, by the way, can work with these reminder-like apps. So you can build an app and you can add something to the list or get something from the list. There are some intents you can deal with, and Apple encourages you to keep doing that because new experience will use that a lot. Next framework which you can take benefit of is app intents, which essentially the same thing. In terms of integrating with Siri, it can do a lot as well, and it's much more Swifty. I don't know how to say it. So it's more Swift friendly rather than the SiriKit framework, and they will be providing more action domains for your integration. So it's currently you need to specify what exactly your app will do, and it needs to be in some of the business domains. And there is I don't know, media, essentially media library domain, and there are a couple of actions which you can perform within that. I add something to an album, or send that somewhere. And it seems.
What about integration with HomePod? Integrated somehow?
It was. And that's probably, I was even playing with that. So you can use HomePod, but how HomePod works, it gets to your iPhone for an app and communicates with it and provides your spoken response provided by your app if you use SiriKit.
That's exactly what I want.
Yes. However, as I mentioned, HomePod runs on all the chips, and you will not get this new Siri experience in terms of understanding, asking something, follow-up questions, or understanding if you said something but then decided to say something else. And so probably we need to wait for the new HomePods. That's something I honestly think will happen soon, because there are rumors about HomePods with the camera and with the screen, and there are a lot of other crazy rumors out there.
I don't need this thing. I just need
small
that's HomePods. I just need one more with more intelligence.
And by the way, there is this first generation HomePod right here, the first original one. It has such a nice sound quality, which much better, by the way, than HomePod Mini. And some people say the second generation of HomePods is on par with quality, but the next generation has less speakers. That's as if we talk about the specific.
There's more computing stuff inside, and I believe the sound is produced partially.
So they said that the next generation is also has a pretty good quality in terms of sound. But again, I want speakers. I don't need screens mostly, but I want it to have best Apple intelligence experience possible. But we'll see. So what Apple asks us to do is to keep using the SiriKit for intents which are provided by that framework, or use app intents for if it suits your app needs. And of course, file feedback requests for features which you are missing.
Yeah, this always works.
Well, yeah, I spoke with the engineer. They said that they are actually looking into those. They don't promise any new things. And during the iOS 18 lifecycle, there will be no new media the domains or something. But what I was expecting, actually, if they have language model and it can understand the screen or something, they actually can learn from the app itself without me explicitly doing things. Maybe you can use labels which we put there. You can analyze that. You can use shortcuts which we provide or something. So there are a lot of things, especially in SwiftUI apps, which you can analyze on your own. So, but we are not yet there, and probably that will take a lot of battery power.
Being honest, I don't trust any company, even Apple, to do anything in the app which is not allowed by developer. Because
I'm not saying that it will run something, but it can see that you are navigating somewhere and that screen is creating something. You can define that as the create intent for something. The thing is, they will be using shortcuts which you provide as a way for Siri to perform actions in your app. So if you use keyboard shortcuts for iPad app, for example, or you have Mac and iPad app built on SwiftUI, and you have these shortcut commands set up, it will learn from those comments, like it's like new file or something. It will, if you tell Siri to open file in or create new file in that app, it will use that shortcut to run that command. So they said that they will be using that. It's not yet there. They are working on that, and they said that they will be working on the screen understanding as well. However, that's not iOS 18, I think.
Yeah, hopefully. So, but all this stuff is very interesting, but we are mostly about development. So let's talk about Apple Intelligence in Xcode.
Oh, right. And I have something to say about that. So they have this Swift Assist feature promised, not yet there. let's put it that. So you can't tell Xcode to create your new screen. However, we have this intelligent autocomplete, which is something, because we now have two autocompletes competing with each other. So we have like regular autocomplete when you like, I don't know, have a you put a dot and you look through the property list of your object, and we also have this like the, I don't know, autocomplete powered by language models, which will imagine what you're trying to do. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In some cases, I was able to see that it actually produces pretty good results in speeding up my development. In some cases, it was just like, it looks into the file and like, oh, you have a method which looks something like I can copy here and like replace some names or something. However, I think it depends on the size of your projects and how structured your code is and how close your code naming is to their model. And I think that probably was trained on some kind of, maybe on Apple's internal source code base or on something, I don't know, some publicly available. I don't know. I mean, they didn't say that they were using GitHub for that, but probably they had some kind of Swift repository to train the model on. And I've seen cases when it worked perfectly. There are a lot of cases when it suggests something which is like, I'm like you don't even know where that all comes from. And the thing is that it competes with the regular autocomplete that makes it really, really, sometimes you want to kill that thing. Yeah, essentially.
I don't know. Maybe you have a very, very fast laptop. Mine is slow, so I have only... So just today, I upgraded to Sequoia second time, because first time I broke everything thanks to Apple, who decided that not delivering packets to network analyzer is a good thing. So thank you, Apple. Yeah. So finally, I'm here again, and I can say that, yeah, for me, these completes, the AI completes, they are okay. They're not so powerful as GitHub Copilot.
Yeah.
They don't generate huge methods or even some methods. They simply autocomplete this line, maybe the second one, but it's okay. What is missing, it doesn't have context about the project, because in this project I have not, I don't know, 20 files. It's a small project. And it doesn't know anything about fields of some struct, which I declared in other place, which is strange to me since they have very huge index of my code inside. So I believe they will polish this, because for GitHub Copilot, they suffered the same. And eventually it became better.
That's true. Again, I think they might be improving the model. One good thing about that particular model is that you can run it pretty safely. So it runs locally and it doesn't share data or learn from your project. And even if you work for the commercial company with a lot of like specific restrictions on use of like these tools, this should be fine, because like, again, it runs locally, doesn't send anything to Apple or to any other company for like training purposes. So but again, it's not something which will revolutionize the development or like do something like, oh, now I can do something in 15 minutes, which took me 2 hours previously. So no, it helps.
I cannot say that GitHub Copilot can do this. So it's a powerful thing. It's a cool thing. But GitHub Copilot itself is just a very, very smart autocomplete. The only thing that is just wonderful there is generation of unit tests. So this thing is good. I just declare a set of test cases which I want to test, just some example data. Just this boilerplate is generated for me.
ChatGPT now works with Xcode through their like app integration, which is
no, please,
well,
no.
Again, like I'm not saying it's usable. I'm saying it works, and like it requires a lot of things which I would never do on my machine. So it asks to allow ChatGPT accessibility permissions in macOS, essentially giving access to everything, like which is you might consider not doing if you have something sensitive on your device. And again, I was reading. I was not using that myself, so I'm like I have to say that I'm not. I do not trust OpenAI, and I'm like I won't be providing access to all of my data just to try this new feature. And I was reading a couple of reports and saying like their integration is something which is you like probably can experiment with, but again, it currently doesn't speed up your development. So why do we need this thing? We want to do something quicker, right? That's essentially the thing why we are using any AI tool for the development. And as of now, it doesn't. So it can do something, but you spend a lot of time writing a prompt to do that. So I'm a little bit skeptical right now on this. Let's wait until we have something in the like maybe next year we will see more progress with that, and who knows. And I actually hope that Xcode will solve this idea of completion, because like as of now I see different completion pop-ups appearing and like they like competing with each other. Like one you can press enter and another you need to press tab, and it like so frustrates you during the development.
Okay, it would be worse if you need to press enter to both, and then they compete and try to.
Yeah, I agree. But again, it's still something which is like you are not sure what to do next. If you like, you see the regular completion showing you proper field, but this intelligent autocomplete shows you something else. You're like, do I press tab, or like, no, I need to press enter. Like, well, that's so yeah.
Okay.
So we ranted a little bit about this intelligence. Yeah.
Do you use ChatGPT in your work anywhere? Just I don't know, asking any stupid questions about anything.
Sometimes but I'm now trying also to use Gemini. Hear me out. I'm not using any apps. I'm just going to Google and write my question and see what Gemini provides me as an answer, besides the regular search results. I'm not sure. I mean, it seemingly works, but it looks like it provides me summary of the first web search result. Like often I see like it has like, this thing does this and this, and it has like these interesting things. And you look into the first result of the Google search, and you open that page, and you see exactly those words there. Like, well, like I've seen that, and like it's not like the knowledge coming from some knowledge base, but it's rather knowledge coming from the like summarization of probably a couple of few top search results. Well, I don't know if that's useful, maybe, but I think if that's the case, then those who run these websites might be a little bit angry with Google, because that will limit the amount of clicks to their site.
It's not first time when someone is angry with Google, so it's okay.
Yeah.
We spent 30 minutes discussing
Speaking of
AI.
something, yeah.
Let's wrap up with this topic because we have the second one.
Let me tell you one last thing. Let's wait next year for new features, and let's wait for improved Siri integration with, I think it will be iOS 18.3. So we will see if that will actually do something in terms of like this new intelligence. But as of now, yeah, let's wrap things up. For this year, there is nothing which like revolutionized everything. It's nice, but like I don't see.
And
that,
we already spent 30 minutes on that.
Yes. Yeah. But again, it's a hype topic. Come on, that's every podcast, technical podcast, every company now only talks about AI. And for some reason, I have some issues with my camera, right?
Yep.
Okay, at least you can hear me. Let me work on my camera and let's move on.
Yeah, but we have another hype, which is not hype. So someone tried to show this as a hype, but it sounds like a death of the platform. I don't agree with that, but it sounds like. So let's talk about Apple Vision Pro. So I know that both you and I, we worked on projects related to Apple Vision Pro development. I don't know how often you use it now. I use it, I don't know, since I have an ongoing project with it, I have to use it. And it's a very cool device. It's a really powerful thing, and I see how Apple put a lot of efforts, a lot of, I don't know, their science into this product. It works awesome in terms of tracking my eyes, seeing my hands. But the best thing about it, I would say that they took iOS, they added a lot of nice things to make this iOS spatial and applied it to visionOS. So it's visionOS now. Because you don't need to have a lot of knowledge about some specific 3D stuff to start developing small, big applications for Apple Vision. Yeah, you will definitely need to spend some time trying to understand what Reality Kit is, how to work with this stuff. In my opinion, it doesn't work very good yet in some places, but it's a very SwiftUI way to declare 3D content, to show it, to animate it, to, I don't know, emit sound, particles, whatever. And all this without any necessary knowledge, I don't know, of shaders, metal, whatever, this stuff, which sounds scary even when you mention it. So thanks to Reality Composer Pro, with a very beautiful way to compose scenes. It's not like a normal 3D editor where you can create models, shape them, do whatever. No, they don't try to do this. It's a good thing to put a lot of, I don't know, some objects in 3D space, set some animations, use shader graph like Visual Editor to apply some shaders to these objects, and you can do very powerful things with it. So without doing anything in 3D in previous 10 years, knowing only Swift. And for talking about user interface, it's just SwiftUI. You can do whatever you want with this UI, show windows, add buttons, and it looks nearly the same as you see it on iPad. and even partially on macOS. So what is your experience with using this device?
Okay, let's start with using. So first of all, I'm using this device on a daily basis, not too often, to be honest, because I'm currently on the project which requires to be using customer hardware, and therefore I cannot use it as the extension for the MacBook screen. The only problem I would mention right now for the developer, and let's put price aside for now. Let's just talk about the device itself. It's a little bit heavy. If it will be a little bit more lightweight, it will be much easier. I can easily wear it for a couple of hours, really easily. And if you have your Mac screen floating in front of you and you have a couple of other apps, it really removes the need for multiple displays. It also helps you sometimes to zone out from your room or some distractions around you. It works pretty well, and you can either put yourself into a virtual environment, or you just can essentially work on those apps, and you will still see the surroundings, but you will have a lot of screens around you, and you will be focused on your tasks without any interruptions. This digital persona is I would say thing which it might need more attention. Let's put it that way. You work with that, it works okay, and but it's people fully understand that it's not real you. And by the way, it improved over time. It looks much more natural now than it was in the beginning. And if you talk about the entertainment purposes, it's nice. Apple provides you with a couple of these immersive videos, which are very impressive, and of course they target specific experiences which are perfect fit for the immersive videos. I would say watching a regular movie on Vision Pro is also a nice thing, and you can even watch some series which has nice graphics. You can watch your favorite show as you will be watching it in the movie theater, and that's good. I mean, that probably other devices could do that the same, because you don't need too much of a resolution for that. You just have a big screen in front of you, virtual big screen in front of you, and that will work okay. But in order to use the device as the development machine, you need high resolution. So when I was working with Xcode and with Mac, I believe the resolution is perfect. So I still can say that this device might be useful for the home as for the entertainment purposes. No, and you probably will be much more suited with something coming from other companies. They have even they definitely have more games for that device, and you probably will have this device right now only if you're a developer or you have some professional needs for those devices. We worked on a couple of applications for that, and one of the thing which this device might be used for is, I don't know, trainings, for example, especially if that training is something for the environments which you can't easily replicate. I don't know, some safety hazards, or I don't know, trainings where you need to be in a situation when your attention needs to be very precise and you need to look into things. So in that particular case, this device is probably perfect. And if you're looking for the device just to watch movies and play games, well, there are not too many games, let's put it that way. And since the device is quite heavy, it's not that easy to move with this device quickly, because the device itself has inertia. And if you will be banging your head up and down, it would be it can fall off. It's really a thing which you might consider on that. So
playing
I was
Guitar
reading.
Hero is not an option.
Yeah, especially if you're like into rock, yeah, heavy metal. But let me tell you one more thing. So there were a couple of reports like, well, Apple is bad at selling this thing, or blah 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 blah. And there were a couple of interviews with Tim Cook, and he essentially said that this device is it starts the new era. It's not something which will conquer the market. And I believe they were understanding that in the beginning. So they with this price, with these limitations which we currently have. And by the way, Vision Pro doesn't have Apple Intelligence features, and it will not have the new Siri experiences as well. And that's because even it has Apple Silicon chip, the capabilities of that chip really capped by all the processing happening for the operating system itself. So we expect that there will be soon new Vision Pro with probably M5 chip or something like that, which will have more capabilities. But as of now, even on the projects we worked with, we saw a lot of times when we were limited by the capabilities of the chip. So we were seeing like the frame rate is like we are getting into noticeable like frame drops when we added more elements to the scene. We were seeing that the device might turn up the fans, like when you do some processing. And so this device is actually already running on its all the capabilities. And closest device I can remember to this one, and I'm not sure if people like we have old enough people to remember that, but there was an iPad 3. This iPad was pretty nice. It had Retina screen. First iPad with Retina. So, but the chip was not good enough to run it at like full power. So it was okay, but everything else was running like the display was so dense and there are so many pixels. So the graphic chip was like basically running on its peak performance all the time, and everything you try to add, like if you have a 3D game, the game was like really slow. Even on the new device, it was like the same year. So I think it's like, or maybe iPhone 4 was something like that, but iPhone 4 was more balanced actually. So it had like really great chip for the Retina screen. But this iPad 3 with the Retina display, it was really the same thing. So it's like, it's nice. It's like shows perfect graphic, but you already know that the capabilities of the hardware is not future-proof. It's not the case, for example, with MacBooks with M1 chip, right? So even now, MacBooks with M1 are still good enough. But yes, M4 like doubles that or like does a lot of too, but they're still okay many years later. That's probably not the case with Vision Pro, unfortunately. The chip is already at capacity essentially, and we need to have more power. At the same time, we need it to be lighter. At the same time, we want probably to have longer autonomous use. But I was not like, again, I was not really I was not like, I don't want this device to carry around like on the streets. You still be sitting somewhere, and like I think it's not a bigger problem if you will be connected to the power source. But
yes, since we are okay that our TV is connected to power source.
Yes,
no one
yes,
for
yes.
TV without power cord.
Exactly. So I'm from my perspective,
like a detractor. So you're a little bit disappointed. No?
I want this device to succeed. Actually, I want us to work with those things rather than the screens on your MacBooks. But as of now, with this price, with this weight, it's not yet there. I'm really happy with not with the device, but rather with the platform. So the Vision OS itself is cool, like really cool. The ease of the development is unbeatable, I think. So if you have experience developing apps for iPad or iPhone, you will be very like it will be very familiar for you. And even if like you want to add some 3D capabilities, it's not that big of a difference. You use the same approaches. And yes, you mentioned the Reality Kit or Reality Composer Pro, and you can learn a lot of stuff even if you never deal with the 3D developments. And that's probably the best thing about Vision Pro. It's not about this particular device, but about the operating system, about the ecosystem and the platform itself. That's why I want this device to succeed. And hopefully they will have more things. And by the way, recently Meta introduced this Orion glasses, which they will never sell, but they needed to probably improve the trust from the investors. And well, they had something like that on the glasses, but the glasses themselves were like, again, I think it was like $40,000 to produce, something like that. So, well, if you talk about the price of Vision Pro, well, yeah, you probably can talk about other devices as well. And I think if we have more devices with this platform from Apple, well, I mean, there will be only devices from Apple. That's understandable. But it will be, this will be a good step forward. So I'm all for spatial computing. I just want more devices, and I want these devices to be a little bit more affordable, like maybe in a couple of years.
Maybe. Yeah, so talking about its capabilities, when we showed not very huge, but a beautiful 3D scene. Okay, we lost Danis. Okay, but I will tell you about my experience. He's back.
Yes, I am back, and I think I
thought about my monologue, but yeah, you had to warn me in advance. I would prepare my dialogue, not dialogue, but monologue before you dropped. Okay,
let me take one thing. We had for those who don't know, when we prepare for the podcast, we have a plan, right? We are just 2 points from that plan, and we have a lot more, and we are already at like almost 50 minutes.
It's okay, because this is two main things. So probably it's not a promise, but we can try to record one more, like 2024 part 2.
Oh no, I wouldn't be saying that. It's let's try to do something.
It's not a promise.
Here. Yeah, it's not a promise, definitely.
So, yeah. Okay, I would just like to highlight a couple of things. So, in my last project, what I tried to do, I tried to run Whisper.cpp on Apple Vision Pro. It worked until I showed some animatable 3D content. After that, recognizing 10 seconds of sound took about 15 seconds. So it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
And currently, how Whisper works, it cannot. So it needs the whole phrase. So you pass it inside. It also hallucinates sometimes. So yeah. And it's for cases when you don't speak, you don't need language which Apple native voice recognition supports, because currently it's very limited. It's American English, it's British English. I'm not sure about German, but I remember
I think German also.
Chinese. Yeah. But nothing that I need. And so we end up with using just OpenAI API, like Whisper API, and this works much faster than just doing this on device, which is also okay. Just passing this, delegating this work to some specialized server. Yeah, you're sharing your voice with Sam Altman, which is not good, but he knows everything about us already. So you can ask about yourself, and it will tell you.
And get some unreliable results, by the way. Yeah.
But still, it tries. The second thing that is not very okay. So if you so as I see now, according to our experience, according to what I see around, this device is a very, very expensive development kit. It's very polished. It's very beautiful development kit, and you can use it for demos. And demos of any, I don't know, POC, any like idea, is great because first, no one knows how to work with this, and when you do something, it works. People are just they are fascinated by this. So demos, and when you try to install a lot of these demos with a heavy 3D content, you will run out of space very quickly. So I end up with developing special package which downloads data remotely. So I extracted all Reality Kit content from the app to separate package, which is located in a separate repository. It builds separately, combines everything, and sends this to CDN. It works, but Apple might need to think about this. Not like so. I don't want to do this by myself.
Right.
I know how to do this, but I don't want. So
yeah,
this is strange. And talking about demos, one of very complex and interesting requests that we got is support of what our clients called multi-VR. So when two people in the same room, so at least one of them showing something, the second one is not interacting with this, just looking. So when you together in the same place and you work with this, I know that you discussed this with Apple engineers. It's possible. So we implemented this with multi-peer connection, and being honest, the result is very cool because working with SwiftUI and how SwiftUI interacts with Reality Kit. So for each scene, I just have one struct called state, which is codable. And for host, I just send in these structs through multi-peer connection. And for observer, I just use them, update state of some specific view. Magic, it works. So
and
I wish I could show
quick update on that. Yeah. So we spoke with the Apple engineers on that, and we have a lot of frameworks in Vision Pro. We have share playlist thing. It doesn't work in this case. We need something else, right? We have tabletop kit, which like provides you with capabilities again to play with other people through SharePlay. Not usable in this case, and we discussed with him with that, and he said like, well, that's multi-peer connectivity, it is, and we like also I also reminded like, well, ARKit on iOS was able to provide this shared world map, so we could share an experience between multiple devices in ARKit for the iOS. That's not the case for the Vision Pro because it has different ARKit. And well, essentially what he said, like you use some anchor, which is some physical object or image, and build everything on top of that using multi-peer connectivity. So what we did was actually something which they did, like step by step, essentially. So I actually think they will provide something for that.
They have this in Reality Kit for iOS. They already have this, so you can synchronize different entities between devices. That's not enough for my case, but that's totally okay to have. Just I don't need to implement this particular part. This is cool. Yeah. Okay. What do you want to say about new iPhones? They are cool. They have action button. What else?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Because I just want to say about the most awesome Mac Mini that they ever did.
Yes. Let's go. Like I'll give you the stage. Yeah.
I know. So for me, being honest, I sold my personal laptop about 7 years ago, and since then I use only corporate ones. I'm very happy with my MacBook Pro, 14-inch MacBook Pro with M1 Pro chip. But first, right now I feel that it's also on the edge of its capabilities. Right now, I use Audio Hijack and Loopback to talk to you. Processing of sound, it's everything, all resources on my laptop. So I closed everything except Chrome and Audio Hijack. So I need something more. And I was looking on Mac Minis. The last generation of Mac Minis with M chips, we had M2.
Yeah.
So M2 and M2 Pro, because M2 Max and M2 Ultra is only on Mac Studio.
Right.
And I was thinking, no, I don't need. So first of all, like the base model for Mac Mini with M2 had only 8 gigs of RAM. Impossible.
Yeah.
I cannot work in this setup. No one can work now.
Yes.
So, and this is the first thing which is awesome in these new Mac Minis. They have the base model has 16 gigs. Awesome.
Thanks to Apple Intelligence.
Apple Intelligence. Yeah. But still, you can kill this process and satisfy your needs. If you want to have 24 gigs, price is not so comfortable. But still, you can buy a small, beautiful ARM-powered computer for $700 or euros.
Just for those who it's slightly bigger than Apple TV. It's just so tiny. Yeah, that's amazing.
It's because I will be honest with you. I tried to, so I decided I want to have a home, not server, but some kind of home computer for my Rust development, whatever. So Sublime Text works there, Rust compiler works there. I need it. So I want to have Linux computer with this. But I want to have ARM because ARM is fast. Right. I moved all my servers, cloud servers to ARM. This is awesome. We still don't have anything in the world of PC to support ARM. I mean, we don't have hardware. We have some kits, we have some server kits, nothing else. Come on, guys. So first M1 chip was announced 4 years ago. A little bit more.
Well, Qualcomm is doing something, and they came up with some. Yeah, they came up with something which beats M3, I think, right? But we have now M4, so
but it was the same.
Yeah.
So, in terms of everything, I think that Mac Mini now, if you have an external monitor, you have keyboard, everything, is the best way to do development nowadays if you don't need something specific for, for Windows, for example.
Yeah, by the way, Vadim in chat says the Copilot PC is ARM-based. I think yes, but I'm not sure. We are not monitoring the Microsoft world there. But I think they're using something with the Qualcomm's chips. But again, their performance is not yet on the on the same page with Apple Silicon Max in terms of everything, the battery life, just performance and so on. The only thing which they have better is the dedicated graphic chips. So Apple uses only integrated and they have separate things from NVIDIA and so on. So that's Apple still needs to work on, let's put it that way. It's not yet there in terms of competition with NVIDIA. Let me, we were talking about having another episode. I think we can have one on Swift 6 and just general Swift evolution. that's maybe something we will postpone to the next. I want to have one more thing about the hardware, and that hardware I will let me show you. So this is the AirPods, like the regular one, like the first, and I think this is the second generation, but they look the same with the first generation. Yeah. So then we had AirPods Pro. Well, there were two generations, and like this is the one, but there were also unspoken heroes from my perspective. So this is the AirPods 3, one of the greatest of all of those. Let's put it that way from my perspective. And what we also have now is the AirPods 4. So like let's just compare like these two together. Like this is the 3 model, like this is the 4. And let me quickly talk about this particular.
You have USB-C there.
Yeah, I have all of them. Well, I mean, I don't talk about the AirPod Max because they had their moment of glory, and I'm not sure what will happen with them next. But the AirPods 4, from my perspective, is a really interesting device. First of all, it doesn't have these silicone things which some people hate, including me, actually. But it has noise cancellation. It's not as good as on AirPod Max or AirPods Pro, but it's actually good enough. Like it's really nice thing for this type of hardware. And they also have a lot of new features now. So like you can shake your head in order to like say yes or no virtually. Like if incoming call while you're on the run, you can like shake your head and it will cancel the call, or you can like
California thing.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, that's like actual sun there, and you can do running now. And in winter, it's actually probably even better because it's not that hot. But okay, that we are digesting, diverting from the topic. So, on the other hand, AirPods Pro, second generation of those, now has the Air hearing test, and it can work as the hearing device as well. So, from my understanding, this year from the AirPods perspective was really, really nice. They have a new models there, and they work really fine, and they have a lot of new features. The only problem is with the AirPod Max, because when they upgraded those to USB-C, they didn't do anything internally. Like it still has the old chip. It doesn't have any like gesture recognition in terms of like shaking head and everything. And it might be the end of those, I think, like if they will not come up with something better soon. So that, and oh, by the way, yeah, they added new colors to AirPod Max. Yeah, that's something I did forget. So as a developer, I use this particular device, like the AirPods, probably more than any other Apple device out there. So that's why I'm bringing those here. And if you're looking for the present for the new year for somebody, like consider AirPods. Those are like always nice. And new generation didn't like disappoint me, at least.
Okay, sounds good.
So let's think about talking about Swift 6, maybe end of this year, maybe early next year, because actually there are a lot of things happened in Swift, and I want to talk about those, and especially if you bring your Rust experience there as well, because we will probably see something coming from Rust.
Beautiful copy paste.
yeah.
Ideas, not copying, but yeah. So yeah, let's discuss this next time. So this part was partially about AI, partially about hardware. That's it.
Yeah, but well, I think the whole year was about that. Like, so we are pretty on topic. That was the 2024 in review. We still have a couple of weeks of 2024. Hopefully, nothing significant will happen within these weeks. I mean, yeah, that was already too much for this year. And we'll see. Maybe we will see you before the new year. Maybe we will start a new season with the Swift 6 episode. And thank you very much for coming. And share, tweet about us, do whatever you want to spread the knowledge about the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. See you. Bye.
Bye.